Hello everyone. Hello. Welcome to my channel. I remembered to plug in my microphone this time. I apologize. I was so hot and tired the other day and I wanted to make a video. It was late for Mystic Monday. So I'm making this video tonight to be uploaded by midnight or tomorrow, Monday the 20th. Today is my birthday, July 19th. Now that's personal information I'm giving out, and I'm going to be careful about how much information I give out from now on, because that's just how we have to think in the world that we're living in nowadays. Fortunately, I have some updates for you today, okay? I want to talk about several things, what has happened, and what has actually made me decide not to change my name to The Mystic or Sabrina the Mystic, because I have been branding all across platforms as Casting Cauldron, and I am either going into my 9th year, or I think I started in 2018 or 2017. Yeah, so I'm in my 9th year. Okay, 9 is a power number. I have grown like a snail. I am controversial, but I guess I'm just not controversial enough. I don't know. I guess the men generally get more attention. I don't know. I have gotten more attention by making shorts. So, as you can see, I have changed my channel title. Casting Cauldron, the Modern Mystic. And I have been creating this, adding this intro that I had created for a couple of months now already. So, now it's official.
By word and wonder, my name. Remember it well.
That is my name, Sabrina. And you know, there's been some information out there that has been used for those that wanted to try to come close to me and influence me. Because of what's happened to me, I've been able to talk about not only my lifelong entanglement with narcissists and how hard it is to break out of it, but what's actually behind it. And I don't know if you have a question you can ask me, but I have introduced myself previously as a psychic, a witch, a psychic witch, intuitive medium. All of that goes with it. Above psychic actually becomes the psychic healer, and then the shamanic witch, which is what I really was describing myself as for a while. This goes along with being a mystic and a healer, but a mystic is really more of the next level, okay? Like the next layer of the onion that we peel as we continue to grow. If you're an empath, you never stop growing. Can I still work in these other capacities? High priestess, leading ceremony. Yes, I can. Psychic healer, doing rituals. Yes, I can. Mediumship. Yes, that all goes with it. Absolutely. It's a combination now, right? It's that 4-layered cake. So, nobody asked. I had a wonderful day yesterday with my friend. I went to her business to help her, and then she paid me. She paid me for 2 days. even though she didn't utilize me as much. And then she took me out to dinner. We had a very good time. We talked about our upcoming plans. And then today I went back for a few hours. You may or may not know I went to beauty school, so I'm a licensed esthetician. Yes, I know I have a tan, but I've been wearing sunscreen. So I got today, my face was sugared. She had a student that she was teaching. And so different body parts are used to demonstrate on me. I'm the mannequin, I'm the model, I'm the guinea pig. And I got my face sugared. So it gets exfoliated, the hair gets removed, all of the little fine baby hairs, and it feels very, very moist, but also makeup goes on better. I don't have very much on today. I just don't want to deal with it today, sorry. So that's the update. Casting Cauldron, the modern mystic. I still am all of the things that I have acquired previously, all of the traditions that I have studied and practiced. Those will still remain on the channel. I've already deleted some things previously that don't really represent me anymore. I had even made a video that I wasn't sure that karma was real. I didn't really believe what I was saying. I entertained the idea for a hot minute. I've had too many experiences in my life that show cause and effect. What's been going on with me the past 3 years has shown me, as you become more aware, okay? You become more knowledgeable and higher vibing. You learn to live more by faith, and instead of depending upon other people directly for resources or manipulation or any of those low vibing things, you figure out ways to help yourself, and that might be calling on an organization. I've talked a lot about banishings and cord cuttings, guys, but I'm here to tell you those things only go so far. I want to demonstrate, and I didn't pull out these things, but let me just imagine this, please. A thin thread. Thread you would use for sewing, right? The next thing that would be thicker would be like jute, twine, right? And then after that, a thicker jute twine. And then after that, a rope. And after that, a thicker rope. And after that, a thicker rope. These cords represent different connections with different people. The longer you've been with them and the more things you've experienced, the thicker the rope. And unless there is a position in your chart where you are destined to have a connection to someone that is automatically intense, this is going to form a very thick cord. And in these cases, it takes a lot of cord cutting and a lot of cleansing. As I have done this, I've still had residual effects, because if you do not work to clear away everything, something can come back. A cord can be remade, and then energy can come back. I had a candle that I showed where I worked with Ganesha, and an image was left behind of me in my black dress with my hat, and all my chakras there were holes where all my chakras are. But then they need to be protected. You still have to smudge. You still have to do your practice, whatever it is, singing bowl, mantra, going to temple. And while things cleared over here, something started up again. When you're dealing with attacks and there's more than one person involved, you can't see, okay? Unless you possess second sight or you're given a vision, you can't see what all is going on. Then you don't know how strong it is. When you ignore little signs such as flies, ants, roaches, birds, and you think, I can handle it, it's not that many. But then you come home from going off with a friend on a camping trip and your garage is trashed. Or your balcony is trashed. Because there is a spirit of someone who can do that. To go back to doing another cord cutting is certainly something that I was considering. But I went through a couple of visual exercises and then I used a different kind of essential oil. It's used at Hindu temple and it is known for clearing. But then I went to temple. Guys, if you've been following me, you know that I'd had a dream with Shiva. This represents the snake that was around my neck in the dream. Vasuki. There were two female voices talking to me on either side. I know they have names. If you know what they are, please tell me. I forget. And after that, I felt that I could be much more logical with what I was dealing with and just not try to get involved in any way. I have nothing to explain. I have nothing to say. I've never ever interacted with that person. I certainly don't need to go out and say anything to them now. I'm in the last stages and days of getting ready to completely move away. And when you do that, guys, there's a boomerang effect. The other person feels it. They feel the disconnection. And it is very confusing to them. They don't understand what's happening. But you are a person who's become so aware, especially after I had the dream, and never was interacting with this person, but they were tapping into me and sending me dreams. And I knew they didn't make sense. But when these people become arrogant because they have found others that were easily influenced, they do believe that they are what's the word? Unwavering. Nothing can stop them. They always get what they want. Well, it's Cinderella's pumpkin, right? If you're intelligent. There's always a balance that's going to come. For what you've done, there's going to be a balance that's going to come. The law of cause and effect is real. This person reached out to me and said they were very sick. They confessed of what they had done and said that they were an asshole and they were sorry. But it wasn't real. When you're dealing with an energy that needs to feed off of you because it's so low vibing, you don't know what you're dealing with until you do. And it took me more time to realize what I was really dealing with. Now, I have showed the image that came out in a wax, in a candle, on a live last summer. So you might have to look that up. This was a gift given to me to show me the energetic patterning of this person. I was attacked. I was targeted. And I was fed a bunch of lies. I was fed a bunch of attention-seeking behavior. And without knowing what this person was, I had some, interaction, some communication. Now, that's another story for another day, because it was more of an energetic mediumship type of telepathic, like channeling. And that's not a good idea, guys, because your own energy is being used. You cannot lead these types of people, whether they're covert or they're malignant, to therapy. I hate to tell you. My mother never got better. She stopped drinking, but she still had the same types of behaviors. She knew how to behave to keep herself out of jail, but there were times when she got physical, and I've made videos about that. This is not a condition that can be exercised or healed. This is another layer of awareness that I have had to come to. This particular individual has the energetic patterning of the tarot card that looks like the candle. I do believe this person has seen it, whether they've looked into my shadow or they watched my video. They didn't know exactly probably why they felt like they didn't belong. I had tried to help them, to sever them from the family if that was the problem, and there was just incredible, violent weather that started up. It started with a little darkness, and then lightning, and then wind, and it became so incredibly violent. The more that I spoke, I couldn't believe how much everything was moved. These things are real, okay? And I'm not here to frighten you. I have been frightened enough into the truth. That doesn't mean you're going to be attacked at the level that I was. But in general, a narcissist doesn't let go. And that you have to learn how to deal with that in your life. But when we're talking about something much bigger and deeper and darker, someone who wants to gain rank by turning you, this is what I was dealing with. And finally, several months after, I realized. I came home from work, laid on my bed, sick and exhausted, and there was a video in my news feed about the entities attached to different types of narcissists. So This is why I have looked to deities and gods and goddesses for non-physical assistance. If I continue to get caught up emotionally, yes, I can do more cord cuttings, but you're only one person. And you sometimes have to have several hard-hitting spirits on your side. I have Shiva. And I have been telling myself, I realized I'm a Shivite. I practice Kashmir Shaivism. And I am learning more every single month. This past Monday was a dark moon. And it was the day of Shiva and the purification for the Shiva Lingam ceremony. I rearranged things here, and there I have the special altar to Shiva. And my tiny little Shiva Lingam, which the priest said, that's fine, it's working for you. You don't need a bigger one. I wasn't sure exactly if another cord cutting would work. How much longer do I live with these annoyances? The flies, the birds. It took me months to get rid of the roaches. Because I had attached to that person, they were sick. These are signs that there is somebody who is attached to you or jealous of you, or you've, connected to them. You can do the cord cuttings, but now you've got a bunch of roaches that you have to deal with for several months. Is it sad? Not really, guys. Cause and effect is what creates these people to come back and suffer a life of limitation. And when they are in a group of entities, they've come back, but now they are an entity, a dark entity, because of their past deeds in a previous life. And then they're born into a group of dark entities. They're initiated, they're trained, it gets ingrained, and they know how to walk amongst us looking like regular humans. So I went because I knew I needed Shiva at the temple. I've always loved the fellowship of a spiritual type of a group setting. It's a beautiful philosophy that resonates with me. It's a healing system. I've said before, it's probably the oldest on the planet. And if you plug into it, you just don't even realize how powerful it is. Because it's so old. So it was Amavasya, dark moon, for Shiva, on a Monday. There was a lot of people there. That's not usual. I didn't even know it was a dark moon. I felt it. I'm connected to a dark moon, for many years. So, on this dark moon, you can access the Shiva energy on a Monday. There's some information that I've pulled up on my phone that I wanted to read to you. For some reason, I can't get my laptop to work right. It's so freaking slow. I don't know what's going on. So it's plugged in over there. And I don't know if I can pull down this screen and read to you or not, but I'll try to remember. Now, there is an aspect, let's say there's a part of the ritual that is performed sometimes by the priest. We call him Darshan. where a flower has been dipped into the water that's already been used in the ceremony, and he comes by and he throws the water on us to bless us. So we had already done the purification to the Shiva Lingam, offering connection, devotion, alignment. And he had done his recitations. We had touched the container that he uses. We gave him our name, told him the nakshatra we were born under, and he uses that and he calls as our intercessor to Shiva to align us with Shiva through him one by one. I believe it was before the Aarti when he took the flower and dipped it in the water and came around. There was something there that reacted. I'm not going to share that with you right now. But as he began to sprinkle each person, there was something that was reacting. And it began to react more and more and more every time he threw that consecrated water from the flower. And the closer he got to me, the more this thing reacted. It was really going berserk by the time he got ready. It was next to me and then my turn. And we were all just looking at each other like, what is going on? And I turned to my friend next to me and I just said, Shiva's here. And we chuckled. I'm getting chills right now. Shiva holds what's called a trident. And it is a weapon. Shiva is the destroyer. Shiva is the liberator. Shiva is the protector. Shiva is the one who drank the poison to save his people. The next day I had almost no flies here and no birds that I could see. I felt like I'm ready to rearrange a few things around here. The next day, one fly. Now, I didn't have 22 flies like when I first moved in here, but I had 8. They're not going in the sugar water. They're not responding to any type of essential oil that I'm putting up there. But after Shiva Puja and that energy response that happened, the closer he got to me, and when he got to me, the priest was not really fazed. He kept going. He never stopped. I think he knows. I think he's experienced things. So on the 3rd day after the dark moon, the beginning of the waxing moon, no flies. No flies and no birds. Let this be a message to anyone who knows. Anyone. I've received a message from 2 psychic mediums who are very aware, and they channel or they read cards. Arrows were thrown. Someone has Shiva as a guardian. I went to another channel with this other person who channeled a warlock has failed to turn their target. There was never anything sincere about these people, there never is. The desire, he said, to raise in rank was really the most important thing, and now they failed. These things have turned their backs on them. The energy is going back. There's no awareness. Facing their shadow, forget about it. It's only illness that happens to these people. When you become like a mirror because you're becoming more aware, you're not falling for the attention-seeking behavior. You're not falling for the dreams that are implanted. You're not falling for anything that doesn't make sense. And some of the things that they propose literally don't make sense. It's not even possible. You're not even interacting with this person physically in real life. So they're trying to influence you in other ways. Sometimes they'll even ask you to marry them, and it's not even possible to go and see them or be with them. It's like they're in prison, and they've proposed and you've decided to marry them, and you're not together. I had a neighbor who was a nurse back when I lived in a very, very old building where a lot of marginalized people lived. And I was told that this woman was pen pals with Ted Bundy. And she had married him somehow through the mail. Sorry to laugh. But I was just dumbfounded when I heard that. What they want is an energetic connection. And it's vampiric. Make no mistake. Don't let loneliness make your decisions for you. I don't care whether you are a woman or a man. Get a hold of yourself. So what I have been told is that this person is probably having another psychotic episode. They're not healthy people, guys, in any way, shape, or form. They have a lack of awareness, which is that darkness. We're not talking about the dark moon for healing and meditation. We're talking about just a lack of any type of awareness. If they got a glimpse of it by being with you, they'll have that spark they can carry with them. But the message that I'm receiving from both of these people that I have been led to for several years now, as the messages come through, is at this point now, finally, there's no more attempts. They have failed, and they are demoted. And this is causing incredible problems for more than one person. For me, it's a matter of rebuilding my life. And like I said, I've gone back to doing DoorDash. I've kind of waited a little bit longer than I should have. But my friend paid me for helping her at her business yesterday. And if you've learned anything from me, and you're not here just for entertainment, you can donate. I'm not out of the woods yet. This other person I was listening to said there's been a lot of problems created because of this attack. What else was it he said? A lot of problems, a lot of setbacks, a lot of blocks, but they are now eliminated. So now there's the process of, getting momentum back. I just watched a video of Enoch Petrocelli. He was physically attacked. He said he died. He had people next door that were dealing drugs like I did. I called the police, he called the police, but they actually attacked him physically. My heart really went out to him. So, these things are real. People are sent by these dark forces to attack. The more aware that you become. Now, the good news is the message that came through also was anyone who attempts to do anything like this again will immediately suffer and regret it. Now, no one is bulletproof. I still hold to that. But I can handle the mamby-pamby narcissist. But things that are bigger and darker and more than one, you've got to have a guardian. Call on your spirit guide, call on your goddess, call on your God, call on your angel. For me, it's Shiva. I know it. And I am so profoundly touched. I really am. So, today being my birthday, all of a sudden I had this moment where it was time to change my channel name. So that's what I did. And that's very fitting, isn't it? I don't think these types of people driven by these dark entities are going to be watching me anymore. I don't think they're going to be interested in me anymore. That's the good news. I've learned a lot. I have to protect some of my information and personal life and things like that. But I am also asking, like Enoch was, for donation. I'm recovering from the attack that was ongoing and relentless. And at first I kind of thought, how much longer am I supposed to just laugh at coming home and having my garage trashed by this thing that flies? I was told I don't have to any longer. And that doesn't mean that there's another entity that's going to be sent to come after me, guys, because the word is getting around now that I have Shiva in the spirit realm. Yes, these things are spiritual, but in a very dark way. When you become aware, learn about body language, guys. Come on, learn about tone of voice. Learn about things that don't make sense. Learn to analyze and understand your dreams and ask yourself if they make any sense. And don't allow yourself to feel your self-worth is only got a value if you are nurturing others. Stop it. Now, there are some things that you can do if you've gotten caught up with someone that you're having trouble getting rid of. and maybe you are having some small signs left behind, like ants or other insects or bugs. And I'll be talking about different things that you can use for protection, for smudging. Some things are more powerful than others. But this is what I wanted to talk about today. It's been 40 minutes and I hope you have hung in there. Learn from all of the things that I have experienced in my life. Don't think that this is going to necessarily happen to you, but everyone needs to do some type of energetic, charge a little necklace for protection, a bracelet for protection, smudge yourself with something before you leave the house, and learn ways to energetically seal your home and protect. Every 30 days perhaps, and find yourself a heavy hitter spirit that aligns with you. Mine aligns with my life path number, okay? Om Namah Shivaya. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here. May the blessings of your spirit guardian be with you. Have a good rest of the week. Talk to you soon. So long.